This will be a game that has so much potential in it. I mean, both these teams have just found their mojo. They're starting to go up the ladder. Azzurri in particular just haven't been able in the first part of the season, especially early after COVID-19, to actually take their opportunities and score goals. But since they have, they've just been moving up that ladder, now sit comfortably in third place. Coming up in fifth, and again coming up quickly behind them is Port Darwin. Such a creative side, some really talented individual players in there. Got some new additions with Sean Hodder there, and another one to come. So we're looking forward to see how they settle when those new players join the team. But they are a team with so much potential as well. And tonight, it matters. It always matters if you get a win or a loss or a draw, but it matters big time here tonight. Both these sides will really need to keep their momentum going. Both these sides need to keep progressing up the table and to make sure that they're in that four, that very vital fourth spot. So we only got 3 rounds to go. Don't forget we did a lot of football midweek. We played heaps of games over the last 4 or 5 weeks because we've made, I guess, an adjustment to COVID-19 to get a full fixture list in. And these guys have been able to do that. We want to thank the clubs and coaches for that. Both these teams, as I said, packed full of great individual talent. It'll be what team gets that individual talent into a team formation, maintains it for 90 minutes, and actually follows the game plan of their coach. Both teams are susceptible to losing and moving away from their game plans, but hopefully tonight they'll both stick to it and we'll get a really, really good game of football. My name is Bruce Stalder, Tio down in Melbourne, lockdown in Melbourne. Hello, Tio. Hope you're well, mate. He'll be bringing the call to you, and it will feature Port Darwin taking on Azzurri, and we'll get into that shortly. So much to the game. It's really important we do this. So we've got 2 awards tonight with the Referee of the Month and the Volunteer of the Month. Can I ask Mark Dent to come forward first, Mark, the Referee of the Month? You can put this in your pocket as you run up and down the line, mate. Well done, Mark. One question, why do you referee?
Why do I referee? To give back to the community and when I first played, and obviously it's hard because not having as much referees. So thought I'd sign up, thought I'd help the team and coach football and team.
You do that each and every week, mate. Good luck tonight. Thank you. Stay fit. Mark Dent, please, round of applause, our Referee of the Month. Without them, no games. Our Volunteers of the Month. This gentleman has given not 1 year, but many, many years to the Greater Palmerston United Football Club. Cliff Reeves, come through. Cliff, and your son as well, please. Well done, Cliff. Volunteer of the Month. My question is simple. You volunteered for so long. What kept you in the game for so long?
The love of the game and the opportunity for my son to grow up enjoying it as well.
You enjoy Greater Palmerston?
Very much so.
Well said, young man. Cliff, this is for you. On behalf of Football NT and all the football community, well done. Cliff Reeves, Greater Palmerston United, Volunteer of the Month. And his son. Sit back, this will be a game for the ages, this one. It matters.
Well said there by Bruce Stalder, the Football NT president or CEO, I should say, their pre-game. And now our focus turns to the action. Saturday night to complete round 15 in Football Northern Territory's Men's Premier Division. Port Darwin taking on Uni Azzurri. Big game for these two teams. And looking at the table coming in, Azzurri, 22 points in third place, goal difference of -4. Casuarina, fourth place, the last final spot. They have 22 points and a goal difference of -7. And then Port Darwin, 16 points, goal difference of -12. So tonight perhaps is their last realistic hope of being able to catch Azzurri on the table. Even a draw for Azzurri would make it very difficult for Port Darwin to close the gap in the remaining games. Port Darwin win though, they will be breathing down the neck of both Casuarina and Azzurri, and we will have a genuine 3-team race for those 2 remaining spots in the top 4. Hellenic are well clear on top. Mindel are still 10 points clear in second. It is all about third, fourth and fifth. 3 cannot go into 2. Can Port Darwin compress it back up? Or can Uni Azzurri keep their build of form going as they approach finals? For those of you not familiar with the teams, it's Port Darwin in the maroon and blue, and they have kicked us off here against Azzurri in the blue shirts and shorts and the white socks. Straight away, trouble being caused by the press from Uni Azzurri, and that was very well done by Tega Ejeke, just to cause a bit of panic in the Port Darwin defence. Now they're trying to hail for a foul, but the referee is not interested. Port Darwin attempting to build down the left. Dean Edwards gets a foot on the ball for Azzurri. And then Jermainus Jolomal, you saw him with the little hop there. The pass from his teammate goes straight down to the keeper, and it's a chance to go through the teams. Goalkeeper for Port Darwin tonight is Rory Hood. 5, Tobias Kogai. 6, Jonah Rule. 7, Jose Raimundo, a late inclusion to the starting 11 tonight. Originally wasn't on the team sheet, so he must have just passed a fitness test or been cleared to play at the very last second. Number 9, Roberto Sicles. 12, Ryan McAvoy. 14, Endry Prifty. 15, Sean Hodor. 16, Jonas Karasalis. 18, Jay Adams. And 19 is Terry Fannin as the ball deflects out right down next to the corner flag. And the way the players are lining up, I suspect it's going to be a corner kick. Uni Azzurri's team tonight, their goalkeeper is Panagiotis Giorgio. 2, Daxon Masai. 3, Kelvin Mapendere. 7, Nathaniel Paredes. 10, Tega Ejeke. 11, Aba Mosa into the starting lineup this week. 12, Anthony Delembo. 13, Dean Edwards. 14, Jaminus Jolimal. 15 is Jacques Matete. And number 19, their top scorer, is Uche Okwara. So, key absentee tonight for Port Darwin is Isaac Paul. He's their top scorer this year, but is not in the lineup at all. So, without him, Port Darwin will be looking for a way to goal. See if they can find it at a set piece. This is the first corner. 2 minutes in, attacking the near post and defended well by Azzurri to block it away at the front stick. Second time ball though, and this one clears the pack of players. Being chased right out to the paint of the touchline. And there's a scramble there. Eventually it's out for a Uni Azzurri throw. Tonight's referee is Ryan Prescott. AR2 you can see there, or AR1 I should say, that is on the near side. That is Ben Kivett, and AR2 over on the far side of the pitch is Mark Dent. And that's not a good touch from Matete, giving possession right back to Port Darwin. I mentioned Uche Okwara, scored last weekend, 11 for the season now for him. Simon Bell, the league's top scorer from Hellenic, has 21. But the rest of the league, it's not quite as prolific in front of goals this season. Everyone else is either in the teens or hovering around that 10 to 13 mark. So that's not uncommon for a team's leading marksman to have that number of goals next to his name after this many matches in the campaign so far. Ball goes out once again. It's all Port Darwin early here. See if they can capitalise on their territorial advantage. The benches for both teams. Port Darwin, Marvin Wilding, who was the late withdrawal from the starting 11 to go to the bench. Ethan Bradley, Peter Bartlett, John Dean and Andrew Savis. As we see Roberto Cicles here. Jose Raimundo, a late inclusion, asking questions with that pass. You can see he's got plenty of energy as he sprints onto the ball here, trying to turn creative, but there's no one advancing through the right side. Bench for Uni Azzurri, Paul Unul de la Chenelière is into the squad this week. Espoir Milk, William Suarez, Larry Niakuri and Anwar Arbabor, who's been dropped back to the bench after starting in Azzurri's 2-0 win against Casuarina last weekend. On the right side of midfield, Tobias Kogai here. Played his teammate into a tough little situation which Sean Hodor couldn't get out of. And now Azzurri attacking through the middle. This is where they're so dangerous. Goalkeeper committed. And the referee is saying it is an infringement. It's outside the penalty area though. And it is only a yellow card for Rory Hood. Azzurri might ask a question or two, but it's not a red card offence, that one. It was a challenge like an outfield player there rather than going in with his hands. And Uche Okwara, who is a bit of a master of springing the back line, had done so once again. And Azzurri will be a little frustrated that, oh, is the referee saying it's a penalty? Well, Port Darwin can't believe it, and I can't either. To me, that looked like it was outside the box. And so now, will a discussion take place between the central referee and the assistant? I think the assistant may have overruled the central referee here. Oh, is that a red card? I wonder, has the dissent from Rory Hood? Yes, he's been sent off after just 5 minutes. That is extraordinary. Port Darwin's goalkeeper booked for conceding the foul and then has been shown a red card for his dissent. And I have to say, obviously I don't know what he said to the referee here, but he's a little bit hard done by from the point of view that the referee did point to the penalty spot in error, and clearly Rory Hood's objection to that has led to him being shown a red card. Now you always want to protect the officials, and dissent is never the answer, but well, he's going to leave the field in disgrace here. Although, maybe that's a bit of a strong word. He's going to leave the field bemused, and he runs to the sideline with one of the outfield players having to take his spot in goal. Extraordinary. They're down to 10 men as well. So clearly not a spare keeper on the bench.
Damn, such a disappointment.
So, free kick. Gee, it's been a dramatic one too. If they score here, Azzurri, they will have the upper hand well and truly. Tega Ajeke is the number 10. He's taking the free kick and he's lifting it over the target and out for a goal kick. So relief for now for Port Darwin. But they are going to have to come up with a new plan to play 83 minutes of this game, a man short. So a goal kick to get us back started. Daxon Masai. Kogai. We're going to have to change formation potentially here as well. Port Darwin to adjust. Knocked off the ball there. Amosa. Now Siclares is going to just pull up and let his opponent Mapindere take possession. Oh, it's a shanked clearance, but it's found a teammate, so put it down as the completed pass. Abe Mosa, that one wasn't completed. Went to the opposition. Kogai, Hodor, and the ball goes out. McAvoy keeps it moving. Laid off through the left side. No clearance, but also no support in attack. And Hodor's touch is picked up by Georgiou. Out to Edwards. Anthony Delembo. Just didn't quite catch as much of that pass as he wanted to. Tobias Kogai. Throw in by Masai. Challenge coming in from Terry Fannin. He's going to have that much more responsibility at the centre of defence. Amosa. Solid defensive header. Edwards. Paredes. Now Endry Prifty holding the ball up for Port Darwin. Trying to switch flanks over to Roberto Siclares. It's been caught in possession though. And Kelvin Mapindere is there to mop up in the defence for Azzurri. Port are going to have to pick their moments for when they press and when they try to attack. Azzurri, real momentum team. On their day, they can look absolutely devastating. They have scored the most number of goals in a game this season, which was 7, and that came when they beat Port Darwin back in round 5. Safe to say that Port Darwin are a very different team since then. It was arguably the lowest point of their season. It's also a testament to what Azzurri can be capable of when they start to feel good about their football. We've seen 6 a handful of times, but only that 1-7 during the course of the entire season. It's commitment from Hodor. Kogai unable to evade the challenge of Delembo. McAvoy. Prifty. And it's a course to go and chase over on the left side for Jonah Rule. Can't get there. And now on the left side of the box, it's a theatrical collapse to the floor there, which is never really going to grab the referee's interest. And Jay Adams is going to play it back down to, I believe it is Karasalis, who has been put in goal. And that header on from Sinclair's, tricky to control for Azzurri Prifty, but he wasn't able to make a play on it. Close control by Amosa, and he's played it through the right side and a deflection away by the defender. All important. And last touch, just interrupting the shooting motion there of the attacker Okwara, who was at the heart of the first and only real flashpoint of the night. He was fouled by the goalkeeper Rory Hood outside the penalty area, yellow card. Referee went and pointed to the penalty spot. Port Darwin blew up and complained. Hood did so too vociferously and got himself sent off. And that is now why it is a little red ticket in the corner of Port Darwin on your scoreboard. Although the score itself remains 0-0. Azzurri dominating possession though. Edwards. Delembo. Wonder if he'll be able to take a more advanced role in midfield when they've got the numerical advantage. Daxon Masai was just pulled up a little sore there, but no, he's all right to continue. Started the season at Port Darwin, Daxon Masai, which is why you can hear the Bronx cheers coming from a few in the stands. The Zimbabwean. McAvoy. Or twisting and turning and eventually fouled. And you wonder, oh, you hear the shout, it's a red coming from the sideline. I think there's a real hunger for the square up here, I think, from the Port Darwin bench and fans. They want this to be 10 versus 10 as soon as possible. It's a yellow card instead, and we'll wait and see if that comes back to play a role later in the game. Sinclair's distributing. No touch luck there. Jacques Matete will have to be careful for the rest of the game with that yellow card coming in the 15th minute. So a draw tonight, Uni Azzurri would move to 23. They'd be a point ahead of Casuarina on 22, and Port Darwin, crucially, would remain on 17. So they'd still be 6 points behind Uni Azzurri, and they'd be 5 behind Casuarina, who of course they beat in the Saturday night game last week. Oh, here's the pass, and keeper sweeper, the outfield instincts from Karasalis coming to his advantage there. And he's only just ducked back inside his penalty area, almost like he's attempting the shot from distance rather than Azzurri playing the ball any closer, and that pass is going to be easy pickings for him to come out and just calm things down. Keeper Reds have just been a feature of the season. There's been a couple in games that I've called this year for a variety of reasons. suppose the other factor for Rory Hood is because he was sent off for dissent, it didn't look like it was a second yellow. It looked like it was a straight red. So I wonder if that's going to be more than a single game, if he might be out for a couple, how important that could be for Port Darwin in this run to the line. Of course, my commentary colleague of a number of games this season, John Dean, is on the bench for Port Darwin tonight, so I'll be interested to see if he has a role to let his feet do the talking. Now it's Port Darwin's turn to try and get something going. There's a foot race here, and Matete beaten to the ball by Kogai. You can see a few refreshments being had from some of the Port Darwin reserve grade players there sitting in the stand on the left of your screen. And here is the object of their affection, Daxon Masai. He's still got the Boo Boys on his back, it seems. Wait and see if he does something like score a goal. Could be the sort of motivating factor that will have him looking to play out of his skin tonight, and he's back involved here once again. Happy to play it back to his keeper. Haven't called Panagiorgiou's name too many times in 18 minutes of this one so far. Well, he's had a few touches in this little passage of play. And the chasing here from Endry Prifty is proving in vain. He's nearly down to a jog now as he watches Azzurri just stroll out of their defensive third. Good touch, Paredes trying to play through Okwara. The goalkeeper, Carasalis. Well, this is where he was planning on playing tonight, in the back four. Bit of the Liam Reddy's as he got creative, but his pass was just hugging the touchline a little too much, and it's out for a throw-in. Maybe he's going to take a creative solution to being down to 10 men by venturing out into the field of play from his penalty area a bit more often than your average keeper would. Port Darwin trying to win the midfield battle here, but Masai swept through the ball. Matete. Edwards. Delembo. Over the right side they go. Just trying to lean into the ball and attempt to clear it. And now Carasalis has been caught out, but fortunately for him, Fannin was in the penalty area. It is going to be high-stress defending if this keeps up for 90 minutes. And more to the point, if it keeps up while the score is 0-0 and they've got something to defend here, Port Darwin. Something to hold on to. Even a draw tonight will be a good result for them as far as chasing Casuarina is concerned. Next round, if my fixture is accurate, it'll be Hellenic versus Azzurri, so they'll have the challenge of taking on the ladder leaders. Port will face Mindel, who've been very hard to predict this year. They've had everything from comfortable wins to emphatic defeats and a whole range of results in between. And Hearts against Casuarina, and you fancy that'll be 3 points in the bank for Casuarina. Azzurri trying to build. And that is sturdy defending on this occasion to deny Okwara any progression. Could be a dangerous giveaway. Delembo. That's a good pass into the area and shoulder to shoulder. Fannin with some physical defending, nothing untoward in the end, and even a pat on the back for Aquara on this occasion as they both run away from the scene. Hodor flicked on to no great advantage by Prifty. Mapandere's pass, a bit of a gap to exploit. And the keeper sweeper very effective there. Aber Moser attempting the through ball, not to be. And Sinclair's not happy that that pass wasn't returned to him. A rare chance to attack. So about a quarter of the night's action completed. Red card early to Rory Hood has Port Darwin down to 10. But tellingly, Azzurri haven't really had a signature chance since then. There have been a few wild moments of strange defending, but nothing that's actually resulted in a shot on goal. Jolimal keeps it moving. Fannin is the obstacle that cannot be passed once again. Jonah Rule switching flanks over to Ryan McAvoy, who's going to try and send it back from whence it came. Teed up for Prifty. He's going to shoot and skies it into the night. You see the ball falling outside the fence there. Right idea, not quite the execution he was after. A rare attacking foray for Port Darwin, and maybe the shot from distance is the answer that they will try. On the advance, Jolimal. And down to the edge of the box to keep his ball. Kogai. Ball's there to be won. Just wouldn't sit up for him in the end. And now Azzurri look to pounce. Fannin. Clearance, Hodor. And the referee eventually gets Port out of trouble with a free kick. And they're going to take their time over it as well, and who could blame them? Ball there to be won in midfield. Battle between Delembo and his opponent. Now Fannin. Spinning on the ball. Prifty. Sticklers couldn't control it initially. Now Fannin. McAvoy. Muscled off the ball there. Rule. Ball headed away. More clever keeper sweeper work being done. Daxon Masai. He avoids the Bronx cheers on this occasion. Mapindere. Ambitious pass. Nearly could have backfired there. Just quick header on the ball, not much more from Rule. Tackle coming in, and down the left flank, Port Darwin try to work. McAvoy again. Lifting the ball over the top, and the flag is up. It's a brief moment of excitement. Perhaps Roberto Sicles was breaking away, but the reason he was so far clear of the defence is because he was offside. Edwards. That's a shallow, dangerous pass. And, well, you heard the smack of the ball off the number there. He's paying a bit of a physical price there with the press, getting the full force of a clearance in the back. Port ball. Sicles coming deep and will get the ball and then has it nicked off his toes. Matete, good tackle. The referee takes a tumble, but he's back on his feet. Ryan Prescott, and now Dean Edwards is away down the right. Into the box with a burst and cleared by Fannin. Now trying to return to attack here, Port Darwin. They're going to just slow things down and consolidate. It's a well-worked move here. Let's see if they can keep it going in the attacking half. Masai slid in. And now his turn to repel. He's trying to go end-to-end, but he's not going to get the return ball from Aquara. Horo was battling away in there. Couple of quick passes, and now to no one in particular over on the right side, and not even a token gesture to run after the ball will be enough to chase it down. Jolamal turning himself into trouble there. Daxon Masai, no choice but to clear hurriedly. Solid contact from Fannin and straight back down to Giorgio. Azzurri, they won't be happy that they've really allowed Port Darwin to settle in and find rhythm with 10. It now isn't totally apparent that they do have a man advantage. For the first 10 minutes after the red card, they were really playing like it. Right on cue, commentators cursed them into scoring. They get another chance here. Delembo intercepted by Sicles. Hodor and McAvoy. Down the left they venture. But it is that level of adjustment that they've made, and perhaps they're not even totally conscious at all times that they're down to 10 men here, because they've got a bit of a foothold in this match, Port Darwin. And I tell you what, if they were to find a way to score, then they might just batten down the hatches and try to cling on. Still wouldn't rule out another red card in this game, by the way. We've seen one yellow so far. And so often matches tend to start very well behaved, only a handful of fouls and very little aggression, and then they can turn on a dime in this league. A flurry of cards and fouls and a bit of bad temper. You're never that far away. Kogai. Through Daxon Masai, but not through Mapindere. Ajeke. Azzurri. They can't get going here. Fannin intercepting once again. He's just been everywhere he's needed to be in the defensive half since that red card. Horo. It's real presence in midfield and good combination with McAvoy off the chest of Rule. They're not quite going to get away here. Adams will turn and play it back to his goalkeeper, who I've been told is actually Jose Raimundo. I thought it was Ioannis Karasalis, so apologies if I've incorrectly identified the man that had to take over the goalkeeping shirt after the early red card. And a high ball into the box here, no flag, and the run from very deep did cause enough trouble to be fumbled out for a corner. It's a little gift, a bit of something out of nothing. And the corner is taken quickly. Sicklers past Daxon Masai, and now with a deflected cross, it's going to sit up. Is there someone there for Port Darwin, though? There isn't. Only a defensive clearance. And now are there gaps to exploit for Azzurri as they try to go end to end. Energy from Jolamal. And he slipped over at the key moment. Fresh air swing at the ball. If he just got a touch on it, they might have been through. Does feel like Port Darwin are right in this, though. Port down out of the night sky, but it's fallen to Aquara, last man they wanted to see on the ball here. And indeed it is Karasalis who's at left back and Jose Raimundo in goal, who's going to be called on here. And Raimundo holds on to the shot. And that's really the first textbook save he's had to make. 10 minutes until halftime. Rule. He's not quite been as prominent as he isn't when he's played midfield. He's currently got this front three role that he's in at present. Oh, and that's a lax pass from Kogai just to give the ball away. And Matete, a little bit sore as he's knocked to the ground there. Back to his feet, pleading to the referee. Of course, he's the only player on the pitch currently on a yellow card. Jacques Matete. Masai, did Matete do enough to keep it in? He did not. Oh, don't kick it away. Kogai takes the throw. Horo. Rule. Oh, and can't find a teammate. Is there going to be a burst of energy from Uni Azzurri before half-time? You suspect that if Port Darwin's concentration is going to be tested, it's going to be at the end of this half, after a full 40 minutes of defending with one fewer player. Right now, though, they want to strike against the run. Rule, how's his long shot? Oh, it's tumbling, and it's in! The goalkeeper completely fooled. And Port Darwin, down to 10 men, have scored against the run of play, and it's the youngster, Jonah Rule, who has put them in front in this all-important game. It's been a night of bizarre happenings, And that one might just be the strangest. What was Georgiou thinking? We had the perfect camera angle to watch that ball just tumble into the corner of the net, while the goalkeeper was seemingly mind elsewhere. I can't quite explain that. Maybe someone in the Facebook comments can give us a bit of an insight, but I'm speechless as to how exactly this game is now 1-0. I'm sure the neutrals won't mind, as the team down to 10 men has something to defend. And Azzurri, and I'd mentioned it a few times in the commentary over the last couple of minutes, weren't exactly seizing the initiative, given that they did have a man advantage. And on the live table, it means that Port Darwin, as we've got Aber Mosa down here for Azzurri, on the live table, Port Darwin are up to 19 points. They would be just 3 behind Casuarina and Azzurri, albeit with a much worse goal difference. Just watching back on the Facebook stream, yeah, that is bizarre. I think Georgiou was appealing for the ball to be out for a goal kick rather than a corner, and just got his angles wrong, not realising that the ball was in fact honing in on the target rather than going wide. And now Port Darwin trying to strike while the iron is hot. Can they get a second here? Port to ground, Prifty. And the referee eventually whistles. Just as Sicklez might have been running away. Ryan Prescott, he's had some big decisions to make tonight. Free kick edge of the box. No cards. Andrew Prifty able to win the free kick. And this is a huge moment. If they can score here and go 2-0 up Port Darwin, well, they might just go and get some cars out of the car park at halftime and park them in front of the net for the second 45. Because they really would have something to defend. Azzurri, if they weren't rattled by going behind, Pana Georgiou, he's got to produce his best right here. Make it up to his teammates. 4 on the wall and 1 just to their left. Roberto Sicklez and Andrew Prifty stand over this free kick. It is Sicklez, and the ball does its job. Prifty, though, still dangerous. And the last remaining man in the wall is able to block it away. And a long, decisive clearance. So they deal with the danger there. 5 minutes until halftime. Port Darwin leading thanks to the goal from Jonah Rule. And the referee's whistle here is saying that it's a free kick. Through the right, they probe Azzurri. They can equalise before half-time. It might just take the wind out of Port Darwin's sails and shift their mentality as well. It's a real chance for Azzurri to swing the momentum disproportionately back in their favour. Port would be on such a high at the moment. And if the thrill of having the lead was to be erased after just 3 minutes, Azzurri might be able to really seize upon it. In swinging corner and off the head of Fannin. Not out yet though. And offside. Jaminas Jolamal straying beyond the Port Darwin defensive line. .3 minutes plus stoppage until the break. This is where I thought perhaps it would be red alert for Port Darwin to concede. Instead, they're playing with as much composure and confidence as they have for the entire first half after being reduced to 10 men back in the 6th minute. Bouncing ball here, not quite dealt with. Looked like it was off the arm of Prifty. Play continues. Sickles knocked off his toes. Here's the follow-up and launched out beyond the field of play. It's a vocal crowd, and it's a Port Darwin crowd as well, so they're probably only going to keep making noise the longer the scoreline stays like this. Kogai just launches. It may yet work out. Sickles, control on the chest. Oh, and he tried to shoot on the turn. Edwards didn't know much about it. Perhaps Sickles could have taken his time there. He was more or less one-on-one. Now long ball. No one from Azzurri is chasing, so Raimundo comes out. And he's nowhere near his penalty area, so be careful, Jose. And again, a cunning pass in between a couple of attackers. And this is a good little string from Port Darwin here. They continue to build. And then McAvoy can't find a teammate. Masai. Oh, Kogai won the ball back, and this is a great chance here for the midfielder to roam forward. He's got support here from his teammate and too much energy into the push on Daxon Masai. Free kick in the last minute of regulation in the first half. Mapindere. Masai. Fannin wins possession back. And then that pass from McAvoy couldn't be chased down by Sickles. Edwards is there. Into stoppage time at the end of this first half. And the referee says no need for any more. So a red card to Rory Hood early, a change of goalkeeper for Port Darwin, and yet it was Jonah Rule's long shot that has them 1-0 up at halftime, and on the live table within just 3 points of third-placed Uni Azzurri. So much more to come in this one. Stay with us here on the Football Northern Territory social media channels. Halftime, it is Port Darwin 1, Uni Azzurri 0.
Well, they say the sea is a cruel mistress, but in this game, football can be a cruel master, that's for sure. 6 minutes into the game, after all their training and preparation for this game, picking the squad, getting out there, being enthused about the game, they lose their keeper. He causes an infringement, gets sent off, and they're down to 10 men. Normally in that situation, you would expect the other side to grow the ascendancy, so Azzurri did that initially, but step after step after step, just talking about steps a moment ago, actually off camera, but step after step in that game, Port Darwin started to put their noose around the neck of Azzurri and just strangle them out of the game. And then Jonah Rule, just with a classic long-range shot, put them up 1-0. That is such a typical story in football. Down to 10 men, 1-0 up on the scoreboard. Now, what makes the second half so extraordinarily exciting is whether they can keep it, add to it, or whether Azzurri will let their number advantage come and actually get some results on the pitch. We'll wait and see. That's not far off. I want to talk about a couple of things that happen here. One of the best technical footballers in Darwin went into goals, and he's playing it like he's out in the outfield. His distribution from the back, Ramondo Jose I'm talking about here, has been exceptional, and he went straight into keeping, and he's been playing it out the back like he's been doing it all his life. It's been extraordinary stuff from the young man, and he's really helped his side get through to where they are now with that 1-0 goal. Jonah Rule, the youngster playing in that team, was also fantastic. Got a goal early on, as I said, a long-range one. He's been busy in the midfield. He's capable of doing that sort of stuff, and today with the opportunity being presented, he's really doing well in that area as well. For the rest of the team, it's a matter of now finding McAvoy. He's on the ball all the time. Their captain. He's distributing fantastically, and they just need to keep their shape together. Young Kogai Tobias has been fantastic as well. On Azzurri's side, they just really need to get their act together. They're a team with so much potential, and I know the coach will be talking to them at half-time about the referee's decision and how that's an advantage for them now, and they should exploit it. Unfortunately, they're down 1-0 on the scoreline. My name is Bruce Stewart. We're going to go back to Tio, who's in lockdown in Victoria. All our thoughts to you, Tio, and your family, and we hope you're out of lockdown shortly and back to some sort of new normal down there in Victoria. But up here in Darwin, it's the dry season. It's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday night. It's really calm and conditions out there now. The temperature's dropped considerably. The players have no excuses in terms of fatigue and weather. This should be an amazing second half. Can Port Darwin keep it up? They've been stoic so far, but can they get to the 90-minute plus mark? Or can Azzurri come back and claim one, maybe two? Sit back, enjoy this, whatever devices you're watching on. This is Round 15, Darwin Premier League for men. And we look forward to bringing you the live streaming of that after this break.
Both teams back out onto the pitch well before the referee. That shows their eagerness to get things back underway here in this Football Northern Territory Men's Premier Division match. Halftime score, and it's the team in maroon, Port Darwin, leading 1-0 thanks to the man in the number 6 at the bottom of your screen, Jonah Rule, his goal in the 38th minute, separating the teams. Uni Azzurri to kick off the second half, attacking the right of your screens. As things stand, just 3 points separate third placed Azzurri, fourth placed Casuarina, and fifth placed Port Darwin. So back underway, and for those of you who did not see the first half, there was a red card after just 6 minutes for Rory Hood, the Port Darwin goalkeeper. He was replaced in goal by outfielder Jose Raimundo, and neither team has made a substitution since. Just one other player with a yellow card to his name from that first half, the number 15 from Uni Azzurri, Jacques Matete. So they're chasing this game. Even a draw tonight would be so handy for them to move a bit closer to a top 4 spot, and they try here to start the second half with an equaliser, and Daxon Masai, playing against his former team, is denied at the near post, and that looked quite goalkeepery from Raimundo. You don't see too many goalkeepers in the fluoro yellow boots, and that's because he started the game as an outfielder before having to swap shirts with Hood, who was sent off. Be interesting to see who turns to the bench first and how often. It's Azzurri again on the march here, but good defensive challenge puts the ball out for a throw. No Isaac Paul tonight, top scorer for Port Darwin, and yet they have still managed to break the deadlock first, so that could be so important, given that he was their leading marksman. And we've not seen a great deal of Uche Okwara, the leading scorer for Uni Azzurri, the number 19. He was the player that got Hood booked for a yellow card after he broke through on goal and was taken down by the keeper. And then Hood was sent off for dissent after that. Here's a long shot coming now from Tega Ajeke. And even though he had a flurry of legs as he swung at the ball there, it was straight at the goalkeeper and held on to. Throw in to be taken by Jonas Karasalis. And now on the ground, McAvoy denied the chance to cross into the box. Line challenge coming in. And it's going to be a corner kick for Port Darwin. Azzurri, one of the taller teams in the league. They've got the height advantage well and truly here, but we'll see how many numbers coming. And headed away. Can they score again here, Port Darwin? Bannon. And Masai fouled, and the man doing the fouling has come off worse for wear here. That's Tobias Kogai. Now, I've just received a message from the Football Northern Territory administration after they've checked in with the refs at halftime. The red card was for a direct on goal sending off. So the central referee changed his decision. That is interesting. So it was a yellow card out of the pocket initially and then was changed to a red. I was under the impression that it was two separate acts, but no, turns out the referee changed on the run and upgraded that yellow to a red for Rory Hood. So that's probably good news for Port Darwin because it means that he'll be only serving a 1-game suspension. If you think he was sent off for dissent, he's probably going to get 3 or more. So if a red card can have any good news attached, that is good news. Here's the goal scorer, Jonah Rule, playing it through the left, and dispossessed was Prifty. Edwards, shallow pass intercepted by Karasalis. Sickles. Things slow down to almost a walking pace. Goalkeeper's come out a long way again here. Jose Raimundo. He's done it calmly. Now through the left side, Jolamal. And the ball runs on and is held onto by the goalkeeper, Georgiou. Oh, it's a shallow back pass. Not a good back pass. Oh, and the touch from Sickles. He got the ball tangled under his own feet and ran out for a goal kick. And you can see some of the Port Darwin subs there warming up behind the goal. They didn't agree. I think Sickles only has himself to blame there, though. The excitement of having a shallow back pass presented to him and then rounding the keeper. But then he took it out. Oh, so close. For a moment that would have been had they gone 2-0 up there, Port Darwin. Now Azzurri could hit back and make it 1-1. Okwara, he hasn't had too many shots tonight, and he's equalised! He only needed one chance, and Uche Okwara makes it 1-1. He has reintroduced himself to this game in grand style. And just 7 minutes into the second half, Uni Azzurri find their equaliser. Goal number 12 for the season for Okwara. And that was too hot to handle for Jose Raimundo in goal. And it comes after Port Darwin had a very decent half chance to make it 2-0. And you wonder if there might now be a response. Sickles. And out of traffic, that's been lifted out for a goal kick. Draw would probably be a better result for Azzurri than for Port Darwin. They came in tonight really needing to win to put the pressure on the teams above them. A draw leaves the upper hand very much with Casuarina and Azzurri. And Azzurri probing forward again, dealt with by Raimundo this time. Straight to Edwards, and he has driven that down the line to Paredes. He's been quiet as well. Can he do as Okwara's done and burst into the game? He gives away a foul instead. Rule, Port Darwin's goal scorer. And he's made good position there to run onto that pass, but then couldn't find a runner of his own going forward. And you wonder if fatigue might bite that little bit harder for Port Darwin as this second half goes on, given how long they've already been down to 10 men. It's a brave touch from Karasalis, and then gives possession away. Just left a bit of work for Kogai to do here. He's been outfoxed by Matete. Goalkeeper's out once again, but there are defenders back on the edge of the 6-yard line. And now quite a few Azzurri players committed here, but their defence was sitting deep and they watched the ball go out for a throw. Through the left. Chance for Matete. Just slipped and regained his feet. Fannin sticks a boot in. And it's well worked by Port Darwin. Sickler looking to drive from very deep. And the runner, Rule, has stayed on side here, and he went for it first time rather than take the ball into his control. And it was tentative rather than full-blooded. He needed to strike that with a bit more conviction, the youngster. But he has been very good so far. Ajeke. Now Paredes advancing, hooks it back, acquires the danger. Abemosa is there. And now Delembo following in, pushing it through the right side. Edwards, red alert here for Port Darwin, and it's 2-1. They've turned it around. Oh no, no, disallowed, not to be. Frustration. And the goal is chalked off. What would have been a 2-1 lead instead remains 1-1. I thought that was all right. Good cross from Edwards, but the run was not timed there at the far post. And so it means no goal. And disappointment for that man there, Jaminas Jolamal, who thought that he'd put Uni Azzurri into a 2-1 lead. You suspect, though, that Edwards is going to have a more telling role as this game goes on here, though. Ability to get in behind. Here's Port Darwin in the meantime. Flag stays down on this occasion as they're pushed wide. Don't want to use Rule even wider. Instead going back to the middle. Hodor. And flag is up. Flag is up. Play will be whistled dead. Ryan McAvoy there ghosting in from an offside position. Through ball, Edwards. Keeper's out, and keeper does well. Gee, almost talked a goal into the back of the net there. Dan Edwards. That was a great run. I think he's sensing the opportunity to really impact this game at the moment. It's starting to become a bit end-to-end, though. Port Darwin is stretching this game in both directions, and they've got themselves a throw in here. And their contingent of players in the stands. Not quite as vocal as in the first half. Let's see if they can find their voice again. Try and will the seniors on. Or Karasalis caught in possession. Now a long pass to go and chase Okwara, and Fannin was able to defend him. Give away. Can they seize on it, Azzurri? They need to move quickly before the Port defence gets back in position. They couldn't do so. Kogai made the interception. No one can keep control of it at the moment. It's starting to become a bit frazzled and hectic. Sinclair knocked over by Jackson Masai, and it's going to be a yellow card as well for a former Port Darwin man. So that's 2 players in the book. He joins Jacques Matete on a card. So a dead ball from the right. They've had a few corners in the first half, which they couldn't do a great deal with. Port Darwin. Let's see if they have a bit more joy from a free kick. Two in the wall. So here's Roberto Sicles with the free kick, and it's bouncing to the far post and saved. Good save by Georgiou, and it was nearly turned into the back stick. Reflexes from the keeper, and that was nearly Port Darwin 2-1 in front. Edge of the box, Paredes. Important tackle to win that one. Through the midfield. Rule. It's a real battle for possession here. Paredes. See much that he likes the head of the ball, so he waits for Jackson Masai to advance. Step over from the side. Still going. Headed down from Paredes, and the shot is in. It's 2-1, and this one will count. Azzurri have turned it around, and the 10-minute Port Darwin could only hold out for so long. Celebration too. The ramp celebration taking place here. But it's 2-1 to Uni Azzurri. And it is the goal that they perhaps feel they deserve. The attack that they've done here in the second half. Goal scorer today is leaving the game, and he's subbed off for William Suarez. They had a couple of good chances to go 2-1 up themselves. Instead, they find themselves down by that same scoreline the other way. And Matete, if that's your last act of the night, well, it's a pretty good one. And I reckon he cramped himself during the goal celebration. Pretty amazing. Scores, cramps, off. But what a role he may have played for Uni Azzurri. And now a third might put paid to this as a contest. Jolliver with 3. And after having a goal disallowed earlier in the half, He finds the back of the net, and the corner flag cops it as a result. It's 3-1 to Uni Azzurri. And Jaminas Jolamal has put his team, you'd think, into the finals this season. Roberto Cicles has been booked in the aftermath, complaining to the referee. But if the scoreline stays like this, then Azzurri will move to 25 points and Port Darwin will be left on 16. It'll be a 9-point gap. Another sub, Daxon Masai comes off and Larry Niakuri comes on, and you see there for Port Darwin, Andrew Savis comes on. But Azzurri, a couple of goals in quick succession to Matete and Jolamal. And they should be playing finals this season. And the battle for fourth might just be between Casuarina and Port Darwin, if it's between anyone. It's amazing what a high-stakes game this was, and the direction this game was going. Jonah Rule was the man subbed off here for Andrew Savitas. Into the box, play goes to ground. No, not even a half-hearted shout accompanies it. Thicklers, Hodor, and the ball rolls out. Still plenty of time to go in this game. Suggests that there's probably only one team that's going to keep scoring from here, but Port Darwin, in a league that is full of surprises, will probably keep trying here. Ejeke winding his way through midfield. Paredes, Amosa, and he's been beaten to the ball by Adams, who he then fouls. And flag up. Ooh, tight call. He had stored there at the bottom of the screen. Larry Niakuri was the most questionable defender in terms of playing the attacker on, but even he was appealing, so they got it right on that occasion. Azzurri, and now a yellow card for the bench. Oh, it's a red. There we go. So the meltdown continues, and it's Ryan Prescott, the referee, issuing his second red card of the night, this time to the Port Darwin sideline. And you hope, for Port Darwin's sake, and for the sake of the run-in the remaining home and away rounds and this battle for fourth spot, that things don't completely capitulate tonight. I'm sure Casuarina would be watching on, hoping that the result stays the same, but perhaps that Uni Azzurri don't boost their goal difference to such an extent that Casuarina may not be able to catch them. Azzurri's goal difference is back to level as things stand. Casuarina's is -7, so 3 points and 7 goals difference between third and fourth. And just a reminder that the finals system, as we see Port Darwin play the ball out here, the final system is first versus fourth and second versus third. So if the finals were to start at the end of this weekend, Hellenic would be playing Casuarina and Mindel would be playing Uni Azzurri. So the difference between third and fourth, at least on exposed form, is pretty significant. Kogai. Play was held up. It's very clear away. Jolamal. Too much on it here. And Raimundo, outfielder turned keeper. Oh, he tried to go for a run as he overcooked it here. Back in, making the challenge. And finds the safety of a throw, but well, it'd be best advice to get back on his line here because he's slow to move. And that hook shot, well, all's well that ends well. Maybe he knew that it was going to land right there off the attempt from Nathaniel Paredes. Edwards. Ball through the left. Aquara won't get there before the keeper. And wouldn't have mattered. Flag up. Is Aquara going to get himself booked for kicking the ball away? Looks as though the referee is going to show a bit of leniency here. Edward. Switching it with Delembo. Mapindere. And running from very deep is Niakuri. Can't get to the ball on this occasion. Kogai. Mapindere helped out there by Edwards, but the pass not a good one. Sikles knew there was a runner coming down the right. Kogai gets there before Mapindere and can continue on into the box and tried to tee up the advancing man. Sticklers, pressure stays on. Low scrubbing ball, defended and cleared once again. Azzurri able to withstand the attack there from Port Darwin. Who knows? Peg one back, anything's possible. In a league where we've seen some wildly swinging score lines and big comebacks. Down to 10 men and demoralised after having a 1-0 lead become a 3-1 deficit. This would be arguably the biggest and most unexpected comeback of the lot. And we've had some big ones already this season. Sticklers hasn't stopped trying. From the left, and oh, it's put over and away. Credit the defender. Striker didn't get the chance. I thought initially from the direction of the ball that one had gone over the bar. Instead, they remain pressing Port, but they can't turn it into another chance. Little backheel flick, but no one's there for Port. Picked up by the keeper. Now the long shot, and Raimundo keen to roll it back out in front of his feet and get out of his penalty area on the run again. Another shallow clearance here, and another chance for Port Darwin to press. Just a little bit slow onto the ball there on that occasion. Here's the cross now. Carasala set they're up. Oh, Sickles got ahead to it. Could have gone anywhere. Goalkeeper was out of the equation there, Georgiou. As we tick towards 15 minutes to go. The last couple of minutes have been Port Darwin's best of the second half. You can't help but think that if they were to get a goal back, it may yet set up a big finish. When those two goals hit the back of the net in quick succession, 63rd and 65th minute, looked like Azzurri was running away with the game, but not anymore. We see a change here, and on comes Espoir Milk. And Port resume attacking. Free kick, shooting range as well. Let's see if they can clear the wall. The defensive walls of Azzurri have done their job so far tonight. Well, the referee's walked it back 5 metres here, and well, when the whistle went, I said shooting range. Now I'm not so sure. So it's going to take a bit more of a super boot from here. So Sickles, well, and again, as has been the case for all the other set pieces tonight, the wall did its job. Sickles follows up, but to no advantage. Delembo, ball over the top. Mundo out of his area again. Carasala caught in possession. Paredes. Oh, he's going to bend it in, and it's going to be the fourth. And that is that. Azzurri should be punching their ticket to the finals tonight. Nathaniel Paredes scores his 7th of the season. And with just over 10 minutes to go, it's 4-1. And the Ducks and Drakes being played by the keeper for one night only, Jose Raimundo, eventually has come back to bite Port Darwin. And I'm sure Casuarina will be watching on. Well, they'll be happy that Port Darwin haven't got the 3 points tonight. They've got a 6-point buffer to their remaining rival outside the top 4. But as far as catching Azzurri goes, that goal difference gap has now opened up to 8. Azzurri go to +1. Casuarina on -7. And we'll play out these last 10 minutes with Port Darwin still trying, but they perhaps have to be mindful not to let their goal difference get obliterated here, because they are now on -15, so their goal difference is 8 worse than that of Casuarina, meaning that it's almost effectively worth a point at this stage. Because even if they were to beat Casuarina on the run home, even if they were to draw level with them on points, unless they can make up that goal difference somewhere, they're going to have to get their noses in front. It might just be a bridge too far. You get the feeling that these remaining 10 minutes are as important as any for Port Darwin not to concede a 5th or a 6th or worse. Of course, they have conceded 7 to Azzurri once already this season. Here's Okwara. Are they going to score in a quick burst again here? Milk dispossessed. Prifty dispossessed. Delembo. Espar Milk. And left the ball behind. Port Darwin trying to go back the other way. It's taken an unkind deflection here. Prifty is in, stopped by Georgiou. Danger not yet averted. And the unkind bounce there just kept taking the ball away from Andrew Prifty's outstretched right foot. And he couldn't get the all-important goal-bound touch. Raimundo with the header. Still not back on his line here. He's inviting another long shot. And that one is just going to sail to the edge of the box. Raimundo clears long on this occasion. Great pass. Sinclair's first time shot, and if that's a corner, it's a very good save. Yep, fingertips from the goalkeeper, Georgiou. And after the shot that he let creep into the corner in the first half, he's shown what he can do here with that very good save here in the second. Corner taken quickly. And comes to absolutely nothing. Azzurri, can they go end to end on the counter here? Port Darwin backtracking, and that's good hard running from Ryan McAvoy. Savis, still McAvoy. Wants to turn this into something. Sinclair's numbers through the left. And now the shot from McAvoy, good save, and Mapindere is first to the spill. It's a couple of good saves. You'd have to say the best two saves from Georgiou in this game in the last 90 seconds. And now Terry Fannin being pressured at the other end by Suarez. Out it goes for a throw. 7 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Port Darwin nearly getting another goal back. I think they were 1-0 up until the 52nd minute. Uni Azzurri have got a run on against the 10 men since. Sub goes through. On comes Peter Bartlett. Amosa. Running laterally and running out of ideas. Sinclair hasn't stopped trying. That pass intercepted. Goes in with a slight challenge, but here come Azzurri once more. Delembo. Okwara uses his strength, and then Fannin able to outpoint him for that bouncing ball. Referees coming over to the sidelines again. That's the issue this time. I suspect just a sub So on comes Paul Anul de la Chenelière. Last 5 minutes then, Uni Azzurri 4-1 up. Seemingly on their way to victory. Perhaps just a question of the margin now. Bit of a squabble over the ball, ends up breaking Azzurri's way. And Milk has done very well. Oh, he's dragged down. And even though the ball's in the net, I think the referee had already whistled, so it's not going to be a goal. It should be a penalty, and it should be a red card. It's only yellow. Luck's a fortune for Terry Fannin and for Port Darwin. Well, if Rory Hood was sent off for a direct on goal scoring opportunity in the first half, I'm not really sure how you can't give a red card there, especially given that it was such a blatant professional foul rather than an attempt to play the ball. I don't think it's been, from a technical point of view, the most accurately officiated game. But Uni Azzurri get the penalty, and Espoir Milk can add his name to the score sheet against Jose Raimundo. Let's see if the outfielder wearing the goalkeeping glove can come up with something here. To make it 5-1 then, Espoir Milk, penalty kick. Bit of theatre in the run-up, and a bit of theatre as he misses. And even though it smiles and laughs, I do wonder if goal difference ends up playing a big role in who finishes where, whether the good humour of this moment may have been misplaced. That was bizarre. Utterly, utterly bizarre. Goal difference is going to play such an important role in the construction of the top four. I'm not sure why you would take the mickey with a theatrical run-up like that. Anyway, that's the decision Uni Azzurri made, and it's a decision they'll have to live with. Port Darwin led off as well, don't forget. Their goal difference is the one getting damaged tonight. Two minutes plus stoppage to go. Port Darwin, if they pick one back here, could just be vital come the final day of the season when the ladder is measured up. Not to be. Georgiou's got better as the game has gone on. I think he'll be so disappointed with the goal he conceded too. Horo hasn't stopped trying. And another free kick around the edge of the box. This one probably on a bit too tight an angle for a direct shot on goal. And that's perhaps best indicated by the fact that Roberto Siclers has gone and set up in the pack of players waiting rather than standing over the dead ball to take. Last minute of the 90 then. Result not in doubt. Simply a matter of whether or not there is a final change to the score before we're done here in round 15. Free kick to be taken by Horo. And well defended by Mapendere. Last touch was Port Darwin, but Mapendere's presence enough to see the header of no threat to the target. Into 2 minutes additional time then. McAvoy. Chase being made here by Bartlett. Cuts out onto his right side, but was shut down by Suarez. And now, is it a corner? It's a goal kick. Well, Bartlett did everything he could to convince the referee. Short of taking the corner, I think that he'll have to concede here that it is indeed Azzurri's ball. So for the viewers at home, who's your man of the match tonight? It's a tough one. Azzurri didn't really get going until the second half. I think that even though he hasn't scored a goal, Dean Edwards has been a vital part of the midfield momentum. Here's Aquara. This would be his second of the night if he can score here. Raimundo is harassing him and snapping at his heels and forcing him out beyond the line, out for a corner kick. It's a really tough one, picking one outstanding player tonight. Jacques Matete was good, and then he cramped up after scoring the goal for 2-1 and had to go off. I'm probably going to give it to Ed. Shot from distance, goes wide, stoppage time is up. And upon this goal kick, you do expect it'll be the final whistle. Azzurri, a big step towards playing finals then. They are now 9 points clear of 5th placed Port Darwin. And they go 3 points and a significant chunk of goal difference clear of 4th placed Casuarina. The battle for 4th spot might just be a 2-team tussle now. Azzurri went 1-0 down in the first half to Jonah Rule's goal. But with Port Darwin down to 10 men due to the red card of goalkeeper Rory Hood, Azzurri turned it around in the second half. Goals to Aquara in the 52nd minute, Matete in the 63rd, Jolamal in the 65th, and Paredes rounding out the scoring in the 79th. It's advantage Azzurri in the battle for a finals spot, and Port Darwin will go and lick their wounds. Thank you for your company tonight. Stick around for the post-game show. My name's Teo Pellizzari, on behalf of Sportscast Australia, thanks for joining us, watching the Football Northern Territory Men's Premier Division. That full-time score again, Azzurri 4, Port Darwin 1. Good night.